Hello again and welcome back to Let's Play Mac OS X. This is our second short series so far playing Sid Meier's Civilization 5. This time though we've downloaded the Brave New World expansion DLC from Gamersgate. It's also available on Steam and a few other places I'm sure. So this is first time playing Brave New World, so let's test out one of the scenarios. Two new scenarios are American Civil War and Scramble for Africa. So let's start with American Civil War this time. And let's have a look at the description here. From 1861 to 1865, America suffers through a bloody civil war, with the brunt of the action centered between the capital cities of Washington and Richmond. Can you lead one of these fledgling nations to victory? Let's find out. Okay, let's see who can be either Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis, with, by the looks of it, two different unique naval units each. So, I'm going to go with Lincoln, I think, and we'll do it on normal difficulty. Okay, let's go. Again, this is first time I've tried this scenario.
April the 12th, 1861. Confederate mortars opened fire on Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor, signaling the start of America's Civil War. President Abraham Lincoln issues a call for volunteers for 90-day enlistments, confident that the rebellion can be put down in short order. Jefferson Davis, newly elected President of the Confederate States, is equally optimistic. Davis boldly moves his government to Richmond, Virginia, just 100 miles from Washington, D.C. Can you win the swift victory both sides are predicting? Or will this war test if a nation conceived in liberty can long endure?
Okay, so the victory conditions for this scenario are to win by capturing your opponent's capital before the time runs out. So I've got to capture Richmond. Special rules are city razing and settlers are off, which means that we can't destroy any cities, enemy cities that we capture, and we also can't found any new cities. Only cities with one of these production buildings may create units, either the arsenal, stable, ironworks or navy yard. Capture enemy cities to control these production centres and the manpower resource necessary for infantry units. All units of the player moving first receive just half of their usual movement. On the opening turn, cities have no ranged strike and only minimal defence above the combat strength of any garrison. Great General's range increased to 5 and they are displaced to a nearby city rather than killed. And so, Anaconda Plan is our faction attribute, which means that only military engineers and Union land units can embark in this scenario. So presumably Confederate units can't embark, except for military engineers, okay. So we've got the frigate and the monitor. Okay, let's get started. Fort Monroe, okay. Let's take a look at the map to start with. Norfolk. Yeah, I've just got to let the map render the first time you load a map. I'm not sure. I mean, I've looked around a bit, and I think that's actually a fairly common problem. I don't know if there's a fix for it at the moment. But okay, this is a pretty big map. Lots of cities. Yeah. I'm also using a new screen recording system this time, so hopefully you'll be getting better sound balance and better sound quality from the actual game itself. We've only got 50 turns then for this one. Lancaster, York. Lots of railways between cities, so we're moving quickly. Okay, let's see what we got here. Alexandria. Just got infantry, cannons, frigate, more infantry, cannons, few cities. Okay then. So religion is off. Oh, this must be from Brave New World as, yeah, trade units as well, that's new. So again, lots of the features are disabled on this as they were in the 1066 scenario. So this is probably still quite a good learning scenario to play for those of you who are just getting familiar with the series, with the game. Okay, so let's find out where Richmond is, since we need to aim for that. Oh, there it is. Okay. So there's a fairly direct route to get there, but they're pretty damn close to Washington as well. So we've got cavalry up here. So these places can't build any units, and we can't build the arsenals that we need to build units anywhere else. Okay, so we need to concentrate on the strategic cities that they own. So let's find out where they are. Okay, it looks like Winchester could be one of them. Those horses, I'm not sure if they're part of Martinsburg or Winchester. Looks like Winchester if you look at the shape of the territory around it. Winchester, Cumberland, Romney. It's funny how many of these names are European. Or Old World, as they call it. Oh look, there's a manufacturer of some kind there. Okay, so let's get started. I suppose it makes sense to go for Fairfax and Leesburg. Leesburg's only got 2 defence here, so let's send in this cavalry unit to have a look at what's going on, and send this infantry to accompany them. These guys, I'm gonna just get this guy to poke his head around that way. Maybe, let's see how good this cannon would be against Martinsburg. Pretty good, okay. So we could probably take Martinsburg within 1 turn, and if I'm not mistaken, one of the special rules that cities have no missile defense. Where's that? Cities have no range strike. Okay, so we should be able to move this unit right here without worrying about getting shot from Martinsburg. Okay, so I'm going to surround Martinsburg. Ooh, what's this? Annapolis. Okay, so we've got some riflemen here. Right, there's no enemy territory around there, so I'm going to send them towards Washington. Baltimore's working away at making a cannon. Okay, we've got a frigate here. I don't see why all the unique units are naval units, considering how little of this map is actually naval. The enemy only has a couple of port towns by the looks of it. Okay, so Fort Monroe can produce infantry slowly. Oh look, we're not alone. Okay, Fairfax. I suppose we should, let's see actually. Leesburg we're going to deal with. Fairfax, Manassas, Fredericksburg. I'm going to split the army in two here because we don't need all of these units to take on just Fairfax. Actually, I'm going to send this ship to Leesburg to help out. I'm going to send. Oh dear! I'm going to send this batch down towards Fredericksburg because by the looks of it, they've got some kind of processing plant. Oh, and we're seeing some Confederate cavalry here. Irvin McDowell. Okay. Gonna use. Yeah, so as you can see, that rule about units receiving half movement points at the beginning is slowing me down already. Okay. I'll just get those guys to hold ground there for the moment. Is that it? Is that everything we've got? I think it might be. Yeah. Okay. So how many places have we got that can actually produce units? Harrisburg, York, Lancaster, Havre de Grace, Baltimore, Washington, Frederick, not to be confused with Fredericksburg, Harper's Ferry. That looks about it. Okay. Next turn. Oh dear. That's not good. Oh no. John Bill Hood. What does that mean? Oh dear. Edward Johnson. Who are these people? This isn't great, is it? Cavalry suck, it appears. Okay. Perhaps I was a bit optimistic about how easy it would be to capture some of these places. Maybe I should concentrate on one fewer city at a time. Oh, maybe not. Oh. These bridges are interesting. That's a new addition I didn't realise straight away. Bridges that normally bridges just work like that in the game, so these larger bridges are a new addition from Brave New World, presumably. Rifled artillery, US Infantry Corps, or Corps rather, and an engineering unit. Okay. Let's compare the new artillery to the one we can already get. 2 moves, 3 range, 10 range strength. Oh, they've got range of 3. That's interesting. They're not just the same as normal cannons then. Okay, interesting. Interesting. We can have an improved soldier. I'm tempted to go for the cannon. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. What's... Oh right, this one we've got so far only has a range of 2, which is the standard for artillery and cannons. Okay. Right. What's this then? Confederate blockade runner. Hopefully the pirate ship, which this seems to be a kind of variation on, can't attack. I don't think it can attack units that are on land. It can attack cities, but it can't attack infantry or whatever. So I'm hoping that'll be the same with this one. Oh right, and yeah, our infantry can embark. Unlike the Confederates, I think. Wow. Okay. This isn't going tremendously well. I've overextended myself a little bit. Oh dear. I don't know exactly what... I don't know if those are famous Civil War generals or something. I don't know what those names mean. That's a new thing, either in this scenario or in Brave New World generally. Let's get these cannons set up. One thing at a time. Okay, we could capture Fairfax. Take out either of these units probably. Go with... oh no. They retreated. As did they. At least we've made a bit of a barrier around our cannon now. Okay. William Smith. Ah, damn it. Yeah, definitely gonna have to slow my approach down. Don't think they'd be able to reach anything down here. I'm just going to check the range of this. Yeah, 2. Okay, so they wouldn't be able to shoot any of these Confederate units that are down here. So we'll keep them on the city, since they can do a pretty considerable amount of damage to that. So cavalry aren't great against cities, it seems. That's pretty much... yeah, nearly got that. Not quite, but nearly. So So they've got a cannon here, so we should get away from them if we can. In fact, I'm going to bring our... oh, I don't know, should I? We could take them out. I'm going to do it. It's a risk, I don't want to lose that cannon, but otherwise I'm going to lose some infantry. So. Okay, take out the... oh no, I can't actually take them out. Okay, that's fine. Did I use the cannon? I thought I used the cannon already. Guess not. Ah, but now I've opened the cannon up. Let's go for them. There's no one blocking the way from the cannon now, so it is exposed. Hopefully it'll survive. Right. All these units are pretty battered. Doesn't look like we can beat those guys, so I'm just gonna heal up, get them back a bit safer. Oh, I should have moved them as well because they're right in range of that cannon, so I'm gonna bring them back here. There we go. Alright. I think that's all we can do this time. Oh no. Just keep bringing this boat down south to the first estuary that we can get it up. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Looks like they pulled the cavalry out in favour of that cannon. Confederacy blockade runner sneaked by the coastal securities and is destined for Europe. Its cargo of cotton will bring 350 gold to the Confederacy. Oh dear. Pro-Confederate event. Robert E. Lee takes command. Joe Johnson has been injured in battle. Robert E. Lee is promoted to command the Army of Northern Virginia. This raises the Confederate Great General Combat modifier from 20% to 30%. All units starting the turn within 5 hexes gain 1+ movement. Oh dear. That's not ideal. That must have been the blockade runner. Okay, so now I know what I've got to do with my ships to keep them from getting the gold. Unless maybe I can stop it on its way back, I'm not sure how that works. Okay, let's see. Let's get this cannon involved from a safe distance. So we've got 3 infantry units out here. We could take Fairfax quite easily with one of these infantry units, but the risk is that they just take it straight back because these guys will be able to do that. But we would eliminate their cannon if we took it. Oh dear. Okay, so the railroads don't help when you're in enemy territory. We should have been able to attack twice then, really. Well, we can definitely get Leesburg, which is good. Okay. Wow, we still can't beat them. It's pretty shameful. We better take them out, because otherwise they'll probably get promotion and... oh dear, bunch of cannons. Okay, got a new cannon from Baltimore. Let's send that out. Perhaps I should have sent that towards the other combat zone. Okay. Let's see. Ah. This is tricky. Very evenly matched, because we're basically limited to the same units. Completely. So it's interesting. There's not much variation, I mean, in terms of tactics we could employ here, but we've managed to surround the enemy with more units. I don't know what they've got hidden away. Okay, let's see. Cannon, cavalry, infantry, or a frigate. I'm going to go for a frigate, I think. Takes a bit longer, but looks like we're going to need to be able to stop them from getting those bonuses they're able to get from getting the ships through, because that'll make quite a difference to the units they're able to buy if they've got that much of an income. Okay, let's do next turn. I think... no, they didn't just take Fairfax, that's okay. Just gonna get these guys to heal up, because they can't do much in their current condition. Good, okay, we can send this ship down then to a different estuary. They're quite long. See how many ports they have. Fredericksburg has 1. Tappahannock has 2. Williamsburg is 3. Norfolk 4. Petersburg 5. Richmond 6. Okay, so they've got 6. And how many estuaries is that one? 1. Oh, yes, Williamsburg isn't a port. 2 estuaries. Okay, so we need to be able to stop their ships from coming out here and here. By the looks of it, there's another one. How close is our frigate? A long way away. Looks like they're going to get another ship to Europe then. Pretty tough from the forest by the looks of it. Hopefully we can get this cannon close enough to get involved. And that should do the trick. Good, okay, so that's a pretty significant victory at Fairfax. Send these guys north to help out with this side of things. Since these guys aren't in the best shape, I'm going to send them backwards a little bit to heal up. Get all these guys healing up as well. And then as soon as we can, we need to get them all moving. Fredericksburg looks kind of important, as does Culpeper. Warrenton and Manassas don't look as important. Doesn't look like they have a foundry or whatever. Yeah, I'm assuming that these are what symbolise our capacity to build things. Where soldiers and the like. Let me check. Barracks, ironworks, navy yard. Perhaps not. In which case we don't really have any way of telling where we're supposed to attack, but I guess that's the nature of the game. Okay, next time. Oh dear. Ah, another Confederate ship has made it to Europe. Not ideal. And Hancock in the north is under attack. So we need to do something about that. I'm going to send an infantry unit that way. Okay. New cannon from Harrisburg. Going to send that down to Hagerstown to help out with Martinsburg capture. Okay. Right then, Fairfax. Cannons are all in good shape, but all the infantry is taking a bit of a battering, so let's see. I think, hold on. Yes, we've got four cannons and 8 infantry. So that's enough to have 2 pretty strong armies. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to send one half of that group this way, but allow them to heal on the way down to maximise on time efficiency and health. Interesting. That seems to be what the names were about when names were coming up. It seems that each unit has, each infantry unit has a leader with a name, and they have each unit has its own bonus depending on who the leader is, which is interesting. That's new for this particular scenario. Haven't seen that in any other. Okay. And then this half of the army I'll send to Manassas. Okay. And this unit I'll send up to help out. In fact, maybe I'll send this cavalry to Hancock rather than the infantry, just because I'll get there that much quicker. Okay. And these guys I'll send over towards this army we've got going on over here. I'm going to send the general off towards this army. Okay. What else have we got? Those guys are both healing. Okay. Choose a production for Harrisburg. Okay, so Harrisburg doesn't have a stable or a navy yard, so it can only build infantry and cannons. Let's see. I'm gonna send for another cannon. Alright, so this frigate is getting close to the first estuary, which will be able to block Confederate exports from, which should hopefully stop them from getting those 350 gold bonuses.
The Yankee 3-inch rifle was a dead shot at any distance under a mile.
Upgraded our cannons. Now, has that just taken effect immediately? No, it hasn't. Okay. So that's the... We don't have the upgrade option, which you get normally in the game. So it would appear that we actually have to train the new units separately. So I'm going to do that up here if I can. See if I can cancel this and change it for it. A new one. An improved cannon. I'm not sure if I have to do that actually. Maybe I can't. Or maybe if I set this and then, yeah, there you go. Great. So I have a new and improved cannon coming shortly. Frederick, I'm going to go for infantry. I'm not convinced of cavalry's value just yet. That's interesting. Can't build another frigate. They require iron. There we go. Wealth instead. So we need to capture some Confederate cities that have iron by the looks of it. Otherwise we won't be able to expand our army. Let's see where that would be. Romney does have iron. Where else? Okay, and that's looks like it's just Romney in this immediate area, so we should definitely send this northern army there as a priority. Okay, let's get telling these troops what to do. I'm going to send this infantry unit towards... Now we can embark our infantry, so I could send them down here to help out in Williamsburg, because those guys will have a hard time taking it on them on their own. That said, that ship will be arriving there soon, so maybe it's not worth it. I'll send them down to Fairfax to start with, and I can decide what to do with them from there. It'll take them a long time. Where are they? Oh, it's probably selected the wrong ones. Hopefully I didn't just tell them to do that. Infantry. Right. Irving McDowell. Yeah, so this is the army that we're sending south. Don't have any fully healed infantry. I can send a ship down there as a scout. They've got greater move range. I'm going to send this cavalry unit also over to Hancock. Sinister music going on right now. Let's go for some cavalry just so that if I find their best use I can use it. Okay, let's see. Repeating rifles is new. Okay, so it's improved cavalry. or we can have engineers or improved infantry. Just because they're quicker, I'm going to go for one of these two. I'm going to go for the improved infantry. I'm wondering whether perhaps this particular scenario is geared towards a kind of quick and relentless attack, considering you can't upgrade your units. Unless you have to upgrade them in the city, perhaps? I'll try that. No. By the time we've got the ability to train the new infantry, these will be kind of obsolete, which means that perhaps we're not expected to keep them that long. So, let's see if I can take Manassas. Ha! No. Not this go. Move troops a bit closer. More cavalry then from Lancaster, and this is a long way away. So might be tempted to ship them down south, but I'm not sure about that. I'll send them there for now. See what advantages there would be to capturing some of these towns in the south. Norfolk looks like it can produce units, and it's got a few production improvements there. Same with Williamsburg to a lesser extent. Petersburg looks like a bit of a jackpot, so maybe it's worth sending an army down south to just go and catch that, so that I can attack Romney that way, one army going that way, one army going that way, and another going that way. Perhaps. We'll see. Let's check out this unit. This is our new frigate. And send this down south as well, of course. Okay, and sending this army towards Fredericksburg. Okay. Good. Next turn. Okay, and this is the cavalry I wanted to send towards Hancock. Rescue them, and then I can send them to scout west to see how well defended Romney is. Okay, so this is one estuary that they could be sending their ships from. And this is another. That's the last one, so there are 3 at the moment. I think I have 4 frigates on the way. Now I could risk attacking straight away, but I'm actually going to try and get this frigate round before I do that, so that the these guys have a bit of support. And since the city can't attack them, I can just leave them there, knowing that they're safe. Alright, well that's as far as that ship can be useful as a scout. I'm going to send it down to the end of this estuary. Okay, we can take out Manassas this round, hopefully. Yep, great. Another frigate. Send this out to sea. And another frigate. Yeah, I think the frigates by the looks of it are actually going to be pretty useful in this scenario. Just gonna. Oh, right. That's interesting. Crossing those bridges must have used up a turn for the infantry. See, I'm trying not to delay too much because of the time limit. I don't want to run out of time like I nearly did in the 1066 scenario, but at the same time I don't want to rush ahead and risk losing all my units, so I'm kind of moving at half measure and healing on the way. Okay, so we can build some defences for Washington, which might be a good idea. I'm going to go for that. And in Baltimore, since we're developing the new infantry, I'm not going to build some because in 4 rounds they'll be outdated. Okay, so this is the Hancock Rescue Party. And these guys I'll send to join the Manassas army as a scout. And okay, this cannon you can use to help out against Martinsburg once these units are in better condition. Let's send this guy a bit closer. Okay. Oh, and I'll have some more infantry next round as well, so they'll be able to push forward toward Romney. The cities have grown, population is good. Boost their production, saving up gold as well, so should disaster strike, we'll be able to purchase any units. Hopefully we do. So the Fredericksburg army is near its target. Right. That's will be ours now. Great, got it. The general's there, and like I said, one of the special conditions in this is that generals aren't captured or killed, they're just sent to another nearby town. Alright, Harper's Ferry now has a few infantry units, a couple of cannons. But I'm going to leave it for one more round, so the more of these guys heal up, and then we'll start having a go at Martinsburg, which by the looks of it is actually the best defended city we've come across so far. See, the cavalry are pretty weak against infantry on this, which I guess makes them better as a kind of scout unit, or as an anti-artillery unit, than as a combat unit in their own right. Actually, I'm going to send these guys a bit closer so we can see what Martinsburg, there has any units garrisoned. It does, it's got some rifles. So I'll keep the cannons back for now. Okay, send these guys on to scout the way to Romney, which will give us the iron supply we need to build more ships or cannons. At the moment, as you can see, we've got plenty of cavalry and infantry resources. I'm going to put this place on wealth right now, because in 3 turns we'll be getting the better infantry. Oh wow. So another ship has got by. And 5 units of Confederate troops have arrived to defend, or to aid them in the campaign, which could possibly be these 5 units here. But that's definitely going to affect our campaign down here. Need to get this cannon to safety, which might be difficult. I'm going to send the cavalry back to help out back there. Okay. Fredericksburg. No units on this side of the river by the looks of it. Be wise to heal these units up before we attack. Okay. Same in Manassas. Those guys could deal with healing. Gonna send this cavalry unit to join this army. This one to help out over here, since we've got all these new enemies to worry about. Gonna swap those guys around to protect the cannons. I'm not going to press the attack right now. I'm going to try and get these guys safe. Movement seems really limited in hostile territory. Warrington is the next target of this army. Okay. Baltimore cavalry. Manassas wealth. Next turn. I could really do with a few of those new and improved cannons, I think. Start moving forward with this army, even though they're not all healed. Oh dear. Okay. Get the infantry up in front. Keep the cannon safe. And I'm just going to bring everyone back. Work out what to do with this situation. So with the cavalry I'll be able to get a good idea of their numbers and their positions before I make any moves. I'll let them move forward so that we can use our cannons against them. Now, how long is this ship going to take to get around? Oh, we've got this one. I'll just send this one up this way. We'll probably need their help to take Fredericksburg, considering it's got the defensive bonus of having a river there. That said, we could attack with cannons and send our infantry over water because they can embark. So that's 10 turns gone so far. Okay, and we're in a good position to start fighting Williamsburg here. help us move up towards Richmond from the southeast. Okay, has it worked? Right, moving towards us, we can use our cannons against them.
Why do they call them civil wars, when they always are so extraordinarily uncivil?
Good question, Elizabeth Fitch. That's an improved infantry we've got now. Although we still have to train them, they don't kind of come as... Oh no, look, we can upgrade them. Okay, that's cool. I don't wonder why that doesn't work with the cannons. Oh well. Yeah, one of the... I don't know if... Yeah, I didn't upgrade any units in the... whatchamacallit? 1066 campaign, so for those of you who are new to the game or have only watched that campaign, when you unlock a technological advance for a unit of a set tree, technology tree, like these guys, when they upgrade to infantry corps. Yeah, when you unlock a technology that advances a particular unit along its tree towards its upgrade, you can not only build the new unit in a city, you can also upgrade the older unit in the field, which costs money, and you have to do it in your own territory. And it also puts them out of action for that move. So we can do that now to bring our infantry up to scratch, but it's quite expensive, so I'm going to do it because it might give us the edge. As far as I can tell, the Confederates haven't done it yet, and you can see what difference it makes actually. Too many hills in the way. So I might not be able to afford to do it all of them, but the ones that need the edge, like these guys, it might make all the difference. Oh right, and it actually occupies more manpower, the upgraded units, so we can't upgrade any more or train any more units now. We'll risk weakening our existing units. Cavalry don't seem to be good against anything really. Okay, we can send these guys here to keep an eye out what's going on there. Because of this hill, our cannons can't reach those guys, so we'll just have to stay put on that. Just going to do a quick time check. Okay. Right. Baltimore. I'm going to see what sites we can research first before I commit to anything. Okay, this is interesting. So we've got the same two options we had last time, but now we've got the ironclads, the monitor, which it's a ranged unit. Yep, I don't know whether it's necessarily an upgrade to the frigate or just an alternative. Cavalry raids, field hospitals. So with cavalry raids we can use our cavalry to pillage tiles, which means, for instance, we could send this cavalry unit here to Romney's iron supply, pillage it, and then that would actually knock it out of commission. The Confederates wouldn't be able to get the bonus from that, so this is actually potentially very useful, because workers, or as they call them in this scenario, engineers, seem to be, well, workers are easy to come by in most scenarios, but in this they're a bit more rare by the looks of it, so pillaging will have a much greater effect, so I'm going to do that. and that makes cavalry useful, so I'm going to train some more cavalry. Harrisburg has the new cannon, but because we're out of iron, we can't build anymore, so I'm going to switch it to wealth. Let's get this rifled cannon into the action. Send it to Hagerstown. What else? Okay, those guys can just stay put for the moment. Let's scan these. Irvin can just hang out there for a bit. Once we've got, well, plenty of frigates now, so we need to use them to blockade the enemy estuaries, so they can't send any of their blockade runner ships to Europe to get their cash bonus. Alright. Okay, I'm just going to do this turn and then I'll bring this episode to an end. Pro-union event. Call for volunteers. Abraham Lincoln's urgent appeal. Excuse me. Abraham Lincoln's urgent appeal for Union volunteers has been answered. 5 divisions of Union infantry have just arrived via rail from the northeast. Where's that? Show me. Oh, there we go. And that's but actually not good for us because it's using up loads of our manpower. They're really far away from anything. Difficult. Okay, well, that's enough for one episode. So, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this first part, taking a look at the Brave New World Civil War scenario. We'll be continuing this in the next episode. Remember to like and subscribe and comment.